Today we're going to be dissecting the qualities of highly intelligent women and how you can become a dangerously intelligent woman. Hello beautiful people, I'm Maxine and I help the girls become the best versions of themselves. Please add in the comments some of your tips and tricks that you have used to become more intelligent so that we can all learn from each other. Now firstly, what does it mean to be dangerously intelligent? It means that you understand how people, systems, and patterns actually work, and you use this understanding to inform your decisions and behaviors. You also know how to use your intelligence to get the best out of life, whether it's in work, career, school, social settings, or even in relationships. It means that you learn quickly, think clearly, and understand complex ideas with depth. It also means that you're difficult to deceive, difficult to manipulate, and are constantly thinking several steps ahead and rarely short term. Now let's begin by discussing 10 qualities of highly intelligent women. And throughout this video, we're going to go a little bit deeper into some of these qualities. 1. They are forever curious. They constantly want to learn more and gain new knowledge. 2. They think critically and question everything. They dive deep into multiple different things and topics and are not satisfied with taking things at face value. 3. They have high emotional intelligence. They are never emotionally chaotic. 4. They have a sharp, sometimes witty sense of humor because wit requires intelligence. 5. They listen to understand and observe, not just to respond. 6. They have a low tolerance for drama. Drama is not something that they love to engage in. 7. They are energized in solitude. It's a time that they take to reflect, understand, practice mindfulness, and really rejuvenate themselves. 8. They are deeply self-aware and also have a high self-concept. They understand themselves and they just know who they are outside of other people's opinions. 9. They are able to change their perspective or their opinion when presented with new information. They are able to realize and admit when they are wrong. 10. They are not easy to manipulate, intimidate, or gaslight, amongst other qualities. Firstly, smart girls read. They read everything. Books, articles, research studies. This is the simplest tip, but it's real. It's about being curious for new knowledge. You know that there's so much knowledge to be learned out there and you go out and learn it. It doesn't only teach you the topic. Let's talk about the brain, shall we? So when you read a lot, different topics and perspectives, your brain gets better at taking things in and making sense of them. You're able to understand anything that you read much easier, and you're able to connect ideas without forcing it. Basically, over time, your mind just becomes sharper, much sharper in daily life. When you don't understand something, stay curious, ask more questions, Google more things so that you can understand them. I will say, try to have a reading list monthly. Like, oh, this month I'll read these 4 things. So like 1 a week. Secondly, to allow yourself to become highly intelligent, you need to stop over-relying on ChatGPT and AI as a whole. Challenge yourself to come up with ideas yourself, to write yourself, and to understand things from collective research, and not because you asked ChatGPT to explain it for you. ChatGPT at first was a cool and easy way to organize things, to organize your work and your ideas. But now the more advanced it's getting, we're allowing it to think for us. It becomes a problem when you're letting it think for you and you don't want to think for yourself. When you can't figure out something right there and then, stop running straight to ChatGPT to explain it for you. Explain this to me like I'm 5 years old. Leave that idea or that thing that you don't understand, leave it for a little bit. Then come back to it later with a fresher mind. If you're somebody who struggles with this, then in order to stop relying on ChatGPT, you can do the following things. Firstly, brainstorm on paper, okay? Just you and your ideas. The same way that we used to do it in school. Read up on whatever topic you would usually consult ChatGPT about. I am sure there are thousands of articles online, academic ones or just regular, even blog articles on whatever topic that you're looking at. Also watch YouTube videos on whatever topic it is. Next tip is to play puzzle games or engage in tasks that require mental effort. So play things like Sudoku, Solitaire, Spider Solitaire, crossword puzzles, LinkedIn games. You know those LinkedIn puzzle games that you can do daily? There's this website that I'm always going on to play games. Not sponsored. They have solitaire, spider solitaire, crossword puzzles. You really need to engage your mind and put a lot of mental effort into it, and that really helps you just get sharper. It forces your brain to consider multiple options or solutions. It sharpens your cognitive ability, and you can apply these problem-solving skills to everyday life. So many different things in life. It's also just mentally stimulating, and it's just a good mental workout. The next tip is to actively develop emotional intelligence. Build your emotional intelligence. It's a process. There's a lot of stuff that you have to unlearn. There's a lot of stuff that you have to learn. And I think that a big part of regulating your emotions is allowing yourself to feel them wholly and be able to identify, these are my feelings, this is what I'm feeling right now, and this is why I'm feeling it. But never allowing them to consume or control you. Also observing and pausing before reacting or before making decisions. Trying to make these decisions from clarity and not from emotions. Being in touch with your emotions doesn't mean that you react to everything because you are in touch. No, it means that you're able to feel them without letting them control you, without letting them make you behave badly. The next thing is to prioritize sharpening your vocabulary. Gone are the days when the kids used to read their dictionaries. But we can still do it. Learn new words. Learn new ways to use words. Open up a thesaurus. Learn different ways to say the same thing. Become well-spoken as well, just by knowing the appropriate words to use in multiple different situations. Reading books really sharpens your vocabulary. As a kid, I read so many books. I learned how to spell from reading books. Just be that girl who knows words. You know what you can do? You can create a folder in your phone, in your notes app, or on your laptop, just titled vocabulary. Every time you learn a new word, put it down in there and just keep on going through it so that you know how to use it. Also, listen to people when they speak. That's another big thing. When they say a word that you don't know, Google the word, find out what that word means. But also being mindful and considerate in conversations. Being able to read the room. Just because you know words doesn't mean that you have to use them in every situation. Don't be out here using big words just to sound smart, especially in situations where you know that that person probably won't understand. Being able to simplify what you're communicating to different types of people is also a high sign of intelligence. Now, this tip is learning and developing your critical thinking. Now, a lot of the times we're told, think critically, but what does it actually mean? But how do we do it? I believe that we do it by challenging what you learn and what you read. This also, in turn, keeps you curious. If there's something that stuck with me all throughout my psychology degree, it's challenging everything. If you're somebody who has studied psychology or has ever been interested in it, then you might notice that the major concepts and theories all throughout the history of the discipline are actually just based off of somebody else's theory. Where they say, I'm going to take your theory, I don't agree with it, I believe that it has holes, I believe that it has limitations, or there's a different way of looking at it, and they're able to coin their own thing just by taking somebody else's concept or somebody else's theory, and then here's my new name for it, and then being able to develop something completely almost separate that can stand on its own by thinking about it critically. And I'm not saying challenging other people to be annoying. No. I mean challenging when you're reading something, when you're learning something, studying something, challenge it and say that, okay, so the book says this, the textbook says this, however, I read something else that said something else. The next step is to argue with yourself, and I learned this one right here on YouTube and actually realized I've been doing this because of how often it's actually happened to me. When you have a specific point or when you have a specific theory, learn to find every single counter or every single limitation so that you're never caught off guard. See, when you're an intelligent woman and you are somebody who displays your knowledge and you're confident in that knowledge, there are almost always those people that will try to, one way or another, to dim your light, try to humble you, try to make you feel like you don't know as much as you think you do. They will challenge your knowledge, they will challenge your points. They will look for small, irrelevant things or ways to make you believe or to make you think that you're not as intelligent as you think you are. Mostly because they're intimidated by an intelligent woman. So you gotta stay ready, and this comes very often. Also, never be afraid to say that I can't answer that or I can't comment on that because I don't have enough information or I have not read enough about that. So when they do try to challenge your knowledge or make you feel dumb, they will often ask irrelevant questions or point out irrelevant things or try to just make irrelevant counters that you can't even answer, because most of the times what they're saying is not even that smart. Normalize asking people what exactly is your point? I'm waiting for you to get to your point. Then you'll realize that they don't have one. And so the reason why I say argue with yourself is because it means that you have thought of every single counter to that one point, to that one theory. So you're able to debate and say that I've already thought about that, or I already know that. However, I still stand firm on my point. There, my friend, you just won the inevitable debate that comes from insecure or intimidated people, particularly men. This next tip I feel is very important. Learn social intelligence. Learn how to observe people frequently. Learn how people speak, how people react. Learn people's temperaments as well, especially if these are people that you have to work with all the time or that you have to study with all the time. You will learn to relate and communicate with people better when you understand motives, drives. Most importantly, you will begin to notice repeated behaviors or inconsistencies with the person's words and their actions. And you'll also know how to spot lies easier. You will also be able to pick up quickly when somebody is trying to intimidate you, when somebody's trying to manipulate you, so that you're not easily intimidated, you're not easily manipulated. All in all, I believe that everybody should read the core principles of psychology, whether it's personality, health, biological, or neuropsychology. But in this case, learn social psychology. Learning and knowing people is one of the ultimate forms of intelligence. Next, I'll say do mental dumps on paper. If you're somebody who overthinks or your mind is always racing, this is another thing that I learned online, that it actually makes you an intelligent person who's able to think about complex things or different things deeply all at the same time. But it possibly just means that you have no way to articulate these thoughts or even connect them to each other in order to learn new knowledge. So take the time to write down all of your overthinking, write down all of your racing thoughts. Then read your thoughts, try to organize them, try to understand them. Look for patterns, make connections between different things. Do some research on that thought so that you actually become educated on it and it doesn't just remain just that. Sometimes overthinking is just raw intelligence that just needs structure. This one is also important. Take online courses to learn new things, learn a new skill, to develop the skills that you already have. You could check out allison.com or Udemy, maybe get a subscription for that so that you're always learning, especially if you're a career girl. You need to be doing your professional development. I think this is something that's very, very important. As much as you're doing your personal development, you're also doing your professional development. Or even LinkedIn Learning, any platform that allows you to learn new information and sharpen your skills. And for the uni and working girls, it just looks amazing on your CV. Usually what happens on Allison, for example, is you will learn the course for free, but in order to get the certificate, you pay $10 to $15. I just went and I put it on my LinkedIn. I don't care. With this last one, just thinking of times, probably been going on for a long time, but listen more than you speak. There's so much that you can learn from other people when you just listen, ask questions, try to learn what other people already know. Something that you won't learn if you're just yapping or just trying to show off your intelligence. Other people are highly intelligent too, and you should be striving to learn what they already know. To be like, okay, yeah, that's a new thing, that's interesting. I'm gonna write that down somewhere. I'm gonna put it in my notes app and I'm gonna go read a little bit more on that topic. There, you've just learned something new. Now, there are other ways to become highly intelligent that this video would just be way too long if I keep on going. Please add in the comments some of your tips and tricks that you have used to become more intelligent so that we can all learn from each other. And if this video is helpful, then I've done my part. Please return the favor by sticking around, checking out some of my other videos. If you made it this far, you are a real one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.